Hey everyone, it's Sarah, and today I am back to talk about all of the fragrances that I wore last week. So yeah, I've got 7 here. I'm gonna jump right in. I'm gonna start with this one here. I actually just wore this one yesterday. This is the Milkylicious fragrance that is a dupe of Liquid Imaginaire Blanche Bête. This is such a good dupe. I do need to test them side by side. I don't think that I've ever tested them side by side. I'm just going off my memory. I do have a travel spray of the real fragrance, and I do need to test them side by side. But just from memory, they're very, very similar. Now this one has aged beautifully. When I very first picked this up and wore it for the first time, this pulled very tuberose heavy on me. And I never really had that happen with the original. It didn't like turn me off of it or anything. I still love the fragrance either way, but I'm not really getting tuberose in this anymore at all. And my skin didn't pull the tuberose at all either. So it was way, way more similar to the original this time when I wore it than the last time. And I've only worn it, I think that was only my second time wearing it, maybe my third. But yeah, I love this. This thing is an absolute monster. The original is an absolute monster too, or the real one. This thing lasted forever. I wore this yesterday and I could still smell this on myself when I took a shower. It had even transferred onto like my pajamas, like from my skin onto my pajamas. So even my pajama top, which I didn't even spray it on, smelled like this. So this is a monster. I love this. This is one of their like $33 ones. So if I remember correctly, I think this is one of the $33 ones, which is crazy because if you catch this on one of their like 30% off sales, it's so inexpensive and it smells, to my nose, almost identical. So anyways, that is Due on Milkylicious. I absolutely love that one. Next, I wore Chloe Nomade, just the original. So I definitely pulled some from my fall transition list. And this one was definitely on there. I love this fragrance. This one actually smells better on me than it ever has before. This one used to lean almost a little tiny bit masculine on me. And it still does a little bit. I think it's from the oak moss in the base. Once it kind of dries down, that it does tend to go just a touch masculine. But there was something about it this time that was a little bit sweeter and a little bit more floral on my skin than it ever has been before. So this one definitely is one of those fragrances that as my skin chemistry has shifted, this smells better on me than it ever has before. So I am super excited to try out the Absolute as when it really does cool off. It's still a little bit too warm out for the Absolute right now, but as soon as it starts to really cool off, like at least be consistently in like the 60s, I'll pull that one out. But yeah, I loved this. It was one of my favorite fragrances that I wore this week. Super, super long lasting on me. I always have the best luck with Chloe fragrances, and this one is no different. I smelled like this for at least 8, 10, 12 hours. It's just a stunner, and tell me that isn't one of the classiest bottles you've ever seen. I just think it's just so beautiful. So anyways, that is Chloe Nomade. Okay, next I pulled out my Lake and Skye Midnight 07. I don't know what possessed me. This is one that I usually wait until it cools off just a little bit more before I pull it out, but for whatever reason, I just wanted to smell like this. This is a pretty dark fragrance. This is a really, really sweet patchouli scent. It smells like something from Bath and Body Works like a long time ago. I feel like it was, I don't know, like Midnight Pomegranate or something. This has an ambery, this has kind of like an ambery base. So this is kind of like a sweet sugared patchouli. I can't remember if this has got berry in it. I think it might have some berry. But I just don't remember. It's like a sweet, sugary, kind of ambery patchouli. I absolutely love this scent. It's so yummy, and this is one of those fragrances that will just really get you into the fall mood because it's so fall-like. It's sweet and sugary, but kind of dark and deep at the same time. It's very mysterious smelling, I'll say that. And yes, it does kind of remind me of something from Bath and Body Works, but it doesn't smell it doesn't smell as basic as something from Bath & Body Works, if that makes sense. It still smells like something, it still smells like a more kind of expensive perfume. I don't know, this is a hard one for me to describe, but I really, really love it. And I think I'm gonna be getting some good use out of this winter, because I think that this is gonna be my jam this year. Like in the really, really hot weather, I was super into florals. And I think this year I'm gonna be into these kind of sugary, sweet, deep, dark fragrances like this, like my Angels. Yeah, so this one is definitely gonna live out. So anyways, that is Lake and Skye Midnight 07. It's a beauty. Okay, this next one, I won't talk about this one for too long, because I did just have this in my fall transition fragrance video. This is Lush American Cream, and I love this. This is strawberry. It's got milk in it. I don't really get strawberry from this though. This is kind of like it smells like it's got some kind of a citrus in it. It's got lavender in it. So the ingredients on the back, it's got vanilla absolute, clary sage oil, lavender oil, benzoin resinoid, anise, coumarin, geraniol. Yeah, so it's really beautiful. It does smell like it's got some kind of a bright citrus or something bright in the top. And it is kind of like a milky vanilla, but it smells like a Lush fragrance. It kind of smells like a Lush store. I mean, it's kind of like one of those typical Lush smelling perfumes, if that makes sense. I really, really like this one. It's funny because I think in my fall transition video, I mentioned that this was my scent of the day that day, and I felt like I couldn't even really smell it on me anymore. And I really couldn't smell it on my skin anymore, but I could still smell it on my clothing. So I smelled like this all day. My clothing smelled like this all day. So it did not wear off. It was just because I had been in this room spraying a bunch of fragrance, and it just made me kind of anosmic to what I was actually wearing. So yeah, I definitely got a good like 8, 10, 12 hours out of this easily. My shirt smelled like this. My shirt that is in the laundry probably still smells like this. So anyways, yeah, that is Lush American Cream, really beautiful. Okay, and then I wore 3 travel sprays. I did finally pull out my Alien Goddess Intense. I love this. Somebody said that this kind of reminds them a little bit of Alien Essence Absolute, and I definitely agree. It's not quite as dark, and it's not like root beery smelling the way that Essence Absolute is, but it's kind of one of those deeper, heavier fragrances like Essence Absolute, and it's sweet like Essence Absolute. And it still retains the alien scent profile like Essence Absolute. It's really, really beautiful. I love this. I really didn't get a lot of the coconut on my skin at all. This was mostly just like, I don't know, a sweet, syrupy, little bit more complex version of Alien. A little bit, I want to say lighter, but not really lighter, just different. But yeah, I love this one. I did not layer it over coconut lotion, and I'm glad that I didn't, because I really didn't get a lot of coconut from it the day that I wore this. So yeah, I love this one. This one is pretty long lasting on me. It doesn't last as long as like my original Alien or Alien Essence Absolute, because this is one of like the newer versions of Alien since it's been bought out by L'Oreal, I guess. But I do still love this one. This is my favorite version of Alien Goddess so far that I've smelled, and I really love this. This is one that I will definitely pick up a full bottle of if I ever get through my travel spray. We'll see. So anyways, that is Mugler Alien Goddess Intense. Okay, and then I got into my travel spray bin, and I pulled a couple of those out because I'm trying desperately to work through these. I don't want them to go bad. This is my Burberry Black. I love this. This is really nice in cold weather, but it definitely wasn't cold the day I wore this. It was definitely up in like the low 80s the day that I wore this, and it performed beautifully. It wasn't too heavy. it was just perfect. To me, this is like this smells like my Burberry, like the original, but this is a sweeter, smoother, almost more well-rounded version, a little bit less floral. This has got almost a tiny bit of like a syrupy quality to it, but without being too heavy, and without really compromising the florals. But this is definitely like a smoother, sweeter, little bit more syrupy version. I love this fragrance. It is stunning. This is the one that I really need to track down a full bottle of, because out of all of the My Burberry scents, and I had a bottle of the original one, and I had a bottle of the My Burberry Blush, I believe it was. And I ended up decluttering both of those because I ended up just not loving them on me. Something about the original My Burberry almost made me sick on my skin. So yeah, I ended up decluttering that one, but I really want a bottle of My Burberry Black. I'm pretty sure it's been discontinued, so I'm gonna have to find it on the gray market somewhere, but I need to, because I've only got that much left in this. And you don't need to spray on a whole bunch because it's, it's relatively strong. So I overspray everything though. So I did overspray this, but like an average person, you wouldn't need more than a couple of sprays of this. I smelled like this all day. I definitely got a good like 10 or 12 hours out of it. It's a stunner. So anyways, that is Burberry, My Burberry Black. Love it. And then last but not least, I pulled out this one here. This is the Frederic Malle Lipstick Rose. Somebody sent this over to me. This one, I've only got maybe one more wear in here. This one I do have to overspray. And this one, it doesn't wear like as long as a lot of the other ones. I am glad that I pulled this one out though, and I am glad that I will only have to, or that I've only got about one more wear in this, because this will not go bad before I can get through it. I'm gonna leave this one out and give it another wear before, and just just work through it. This is really beautiful. This is one of those lipsticky, makeup-y type scents, kind of like Replica Lipstick Fever, or Replica Lipstick On, or what was the other one? Juliet Has a Gun Lipstick Fever, I think is what it was called. It's very much like either of those. This one might be a little bit more like expensive smelling, but I really don't think so. This one might be just a touch more powdery. It's really beautiful. It's just a really beautiful, sweet, kind of irisy, powdery lipstick, compact powder, makeup bag, kind of makeup-y scent. I love makeup-y smelling scents. I do need them to be a little bit on the sweeter side, and I do need them to be a little bit on the stronger side for them to work for me. And this one is almost perfect. If it were just a touch like stronger, I would be in love with this and I would want a full bottle of it. But it doesn't perform much better than any of the other makeup-y scents that I've tried. And so because of that, I probably wouldn't buy a full bottle of this, but I do really love this. I think I got maybe 4 or 5 hours out of it. It wasn't super long lasting, but it was long lasting enough that I could have put another perfume on. I didn't, because I was out. I was out the entire day that I wore this, so I wasn't able to apply another perfume, but had I been home, I would have put another perfume on, because it just definitely didn't get me through the day. So anyways, that is Frederic Malle Lipstick Rose. I'm glad that I was able to almost work through that one. And that is going to be it, you guys. I would love to hear what fragrances you guys are wearing as it is transitioning into fall. I do hope that you all enjoyed this. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.